Mr. Chairman, thank you so very much. I was only trying to let you know that I had wheezed my way back in, or wormed my way back into the session that I had been on. It seems like I'm on a double screen, but in any event, let me thank the witnesses and the chairman, the two chairman and ranking members for this very important hearing. Let me also thank Mr. Breen, Ms. Marcos, and as well Ms. Brahman, and certainly Art de la Cruz. I've heard all of your testimony. It is moving. All of us were called by our constituents to help Afghans who had helped us. I want to pay tribute to retired Navy Commander Lisa Tonar. We were on late night calls 2 and 3 in the morning to help families in particular that were interpreters and were trying to get out. One was able to get out before the United States left Afghanistan, but we were left with an interpreter who had a family of 9, including 9 children, more than a family of 9. In any event, and in addition, we had my constituent Miriam, who's a doctor. They were stranded and had to make their way near the Uzbekistan border. The good news was that the doctor was in fact, able to have her family take care of those as they just stood by the Uzbekistan border. Ultimately, they were transferred to the United Arab Emirates, where they stay. And so here are my concerns. First of all, I've heard your concerns about food, and I assure you, as a founder and co-chair of the Afghan caucus since the Afghan war, a bipartisan caucus, having gone to Afghanistan many, many times, we will again assert our concern about these issues, to be able to be collaborative and helpful. But I want to raise the question. I want Miriam to get out. She's in the United Arab Emirates, along with the other interpreter and his family with so many children. And we have not been able to be out. They're in the UAE's humanitarian city, awaiting admittance into the United States. Whoever will answer it, one, would it be helpful if we took an inventory of where Afghans who are waiting to come to the United States are, those that are not on American soil? We need to know where they are. They're in Afghanistan. I heard the tragedies of what happened. Miriam, this young doctor, had the same thing. She had to escort some women out of a hotel while the Taliban was searching in other rooms. It has been a nightmare. But I will say to you that I believe that democracy has been planted. It is a seed in the hearts of the Afghan people. And I do believe that we're going to see democracy take hold and overcome those who are despots and govern them now. But I do want to know whether an inventory would be helpful and whether we should raise that with all of the departments from DHS to state. The other is anyone wants to comment on those that are being still stationed, if you will, in United Arab Emirates and Humanitarian City, and any thoughts on how Congress can help to facilitate them getting back into the United States. I understand they're more than. And then lastly, anyone want to comment about the best way to ensure that adequate food is at the variety of facilities? I'll yield to anyone. There are 3 questions that I asked: the inventory, getting out of the UAE, and food distribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Those are outstanding questions so much. Thank you for raising them. Very briefly, there are many thousands of families in the situation you described all over the world. In Afghanistan and hiding, in neighboring countries, in UAE, and in the Gulf. That inventory would be extremely helpful. We in the NGO community are doing our very best to track all of these families. And we need a whole of government plan to move those folks to the United States. Many of us have recommended humanitarian parole on a categorical basis with fee waivers that would allow that to happen relatively quickly. Combined with an adjustment act that would meet the following requirements for those individuals once they reach the United States. I think that's a critical need, and thank you so much for raising it again, about the tens of thousands of people who have yet to be evacuated at this moment running for their lives.
We'll be in touch. Thank you so much. Ms. Brahman, I feel your emotion and pain. Do you want to talk about trying to help those with food and other needs? Ms. Brahman? Barham? I'm sorry, Barham?
Our staff in Afghanistan also work with UNHCR with displaced, internal displaced people, and the conditions are not good. We also, as I mentioned earlier, that not being able to access money or send money, many of the staff are not able to take their paychecks from their bank account. And that has been challenging. We are, as an organization, we have been searching for answers and looking and reaching out to people to find out a way to do that, but unfortunately have been unsuccessful.
Should we reach out to the UAE and the State Department to at least those who are there to try and get them moving toward coming to the United States?
We definitely should, yes. I just heard that Pakistan will reopen its border as of tomorrow with Afghanistan. So hopefully that will make it a little bit easier for aids to go inside Afghanistan.
Very good. Well, let me thank you, Mr. Chairman. I see a number of individuals that I'll be reaching out to. The Afghan caucus stands ready to work on a number of these issues. I know with a number of our other committees, these are two very important subcommittees, and this is a very important hearing. Thank you to both chairman and ranking member for allowing me to participate today, and your courtesies extended. Thank you again. We must solve this. These are people who have served on the front lines for us. I yield back, Mr.